Hello there guys and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for yet another Premier League match preview by myself as Chelsea are to take on Wolves or Wolverhampton Wanderers away at the Molineux Stadium tomorrow evening, with the kickoff actually being at 6 p.m. UK time on the Tuesday. And this would have been a big game anyway. But after not just dropping points but losing against Everton on the weekend, it's made this an even bigger game. Honestly, it really has. We absolutely have to bounce back. We have to get back to winning ways, and we have to find ways to score even with none of our three wingers starting. Stick around to find out about my predicted 11, injury news on Christian Pulisic, and how I think Chelsea can beat Wolves. Of course, if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. Make sure you smash the like button on this video. It cheers me up. It helps us push these videos out to more people, and it shows you, or it shows us rather, that you enjoy our content, which would be brilliant. And of course, as always, let me shout out my own channel, to which the link is down in the description, or if you click the I button up there, I do post-match analysis or in-depth analysis of every single Chelsea game, the day after every single Chelsea game. And this morning I also did a live reaction to the Champions League draw, of course, in which Chelsea were drawn against Atletico Madrid in the round of 16 of the Champions League. So if you want to check that out, be sure to go over there, subscribe, and check those videos out. That'd be massively appreciated. And just lastly, before getting into the video itself, do get Football Manager 21 with the link down in the description and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And also, if you want to order any of the new Chelsea kits, make sure you use the other link down in the down in the description below, and use our code VAR65 for up to 65% off. And as usual, now getting into the video, starting it off with the team news that actually Frank Lampard provided in his pre-match press conference. Now, first of all, of course, Hakim, Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi do remain sidelined for a bit longer, but Frank Lampard did confirm that Christian Pulisic trained without problems for the past 2 days and will be in the squad against Wolves tomorrow. So that is positive news. Personally, I don't think at all that he will start, but at least he'll be in the squad and possibly come off the bench, which would already be better than we had on the weekend, I guess. And of course, he also commented on Chelsea being drawn against Atletico Madrid in the round of 16 in the Champions League, like I already touched on. And he said, a really good team, currently second in La Liga with 2 games in hand though, and also stating that we just have to be confident that we can beat them. And I am very confident that we can beat them as long as we have at least 2 wingers available, because otherwise it's a bit tough. But of course, we have to be clinical, and so the likes of Timo Werner definitely need to improve on that if we are to beat Atletico Madrid, who of course are brilliant defensively. But with all of that said, let's get into my predicted 11 as well as the team I myself would choose for tomorrow night's game against Wolves. And starting with my team on this side of the screen, of course, it is a tricky one. It is a really tricky one. Looking in from the outside, especially like we are as fans, it's really difficult to judge who might need a rest and who's good to start again. So, that's a tough one. But as crazy as that might sound considering the performance, I actually think we should probably go for the exact same 11 that started against Everton on Saturday. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy, but if you think about it, we shouldn't drop Edouard Mendy. I know he made a mistake for the penalty, but we shouldn't drop him. Reece James was brilliant, so he has to play again. The same goes for Kurt Zouma, and even Ben Chilwell. You wouldn't want Emerson or Alonso instead of him, would you? So it has to be those again. The only question is if Thiago Silva can play again already, considering he is 36 years of age and we only just played on Saturday evening. But like I said, in my opinion, this game is incredibly important. So if it's somehow possible, I think even Thiago Silva has to start again tomorrow. And while I think, like I said, the 11 should stay the same, I would actually change their positions slightly. Still N'Golo Kante as the DM in our 4-3-3 system. We didn't have time to start working on a new system or formation. So people saying, change to a 4-4-2 time and change to a 3 at the back, this and that. It would be a stupid thing to do. We don't have time to work on a new system. You can't just play a new system and expect it to work just because it's different. And maybe it even suits the current, fit players better because without wingers, but we have no time to work on it, so it's pointless. Lampard even said that he's not considering a change in formation at the moment. Then, in my opinion, ahead of N'Golo Kante, Mateo Kovacic just to play again, but I would move him over to the left centre midfield spot while taking Kai Havertz away from the wing, starting him in midfield as the right-sided central midfielder, because, in my opinion, he struggled too much in the wing, and, I just don't think he should start there again. Put him in a position he's slightly more comfortable in. Let's hope he can improve there, show a bit more confidence, because biggest problem with him, in my opinion, is the lack of confidence right now. He doesn't try the tricky pass. He doesn't try any runs. He barely tries any crosses. He's not really doing much. But I think it's more of a lack of confidence than a lack of that he can't do it, because we know what a good player he is. So I think playing him in a position he's more comfortable in would already be a start towards getting him back to better form. And then, in my opinion, we should just have to move Mason Mount over to the left wing, because, like I said, I think his form is just generally better. So he's currently better equipped to play out of position. I just think that's the only reason, and we still don't have any wingers available to start at least. So I just think at the moment he's slightly better suited to it than Kai Havertz. And that means moving Timo Werner from the left wing to the right wing, where I actually think he's done better than he has done on the left recently, because he isn't getting past players anyway, at least when he's cutting in. He's not getting any shots off. And on the right, he can at least use his pace to get around players and at least put a cross in. So, I see at least a little bit of an advantage in that sense. And then even if Olivier Giroud had a poor game, I would stick with him up top while we don't have any wingers available, especially because our main weapon will remain the crosses, especially from the right from Reece James. So I think you kind of have to go with Olivier Giroud from that point of view. Coming with my predicted 11 though, on this side of the screen, I do actually expect a few changes. Even if I wouldn't make them, I do expect them. I think Antonio Rudiger will come in for Thiago Silva, while the rest of the back five will stay the same. Otherwise, Mendy, Kurt Zuma, Ben Chilwell and Reece James. In midfield, I believe that Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante will feature again, but I believe Lampard will start Billy Gilmour as part of the midfield three, like I said already, remaining or sticking with the 4-3-3 system with 1 DM and 2 number 8. Like I said, I think Billy Gilmour will come into the side. But rather than dropping Mason Mount, I think he'll leave Kai Havertz on the bench, moving Mason Mount on the wing, like myself, probably on the left wing, while moving Timo Werner over to the right and sticking with Olivier Giroud up top. Let's see if I'm right. But this is what I think the boss will do. Like I said, let's see if I'm right, but this is what I think he will do. And to talk about the game as a whole, I don't think there's anything wrong with how we try to play, actually. A lot of people criticize that after the last game, which to me is ludicrous, because the week before everyone was happy with it. Now everyone hates it. We were 17 games unbeaten. The system isn't the problem right now, in my opinion anyways. But we just need to execute it significantly better than we did on Saturday against Everton. That was just poor and pretty much, from pretty much all angles. And while crossing the ball will still remain our biggest weapon, especially until Pulisic hopefully at least comes on, it can't and shouldn't be our only weapon of trying to score, other than set pieces, obviously, because we still had those against Everton. We need to pass the ball so much quicker. We were so slow against Everton. The worst was in the first 20 minutes, but for the entire game, we were way too slow. There needs to be so much more movement, and also there needs to be more intensity in trying to win second balls. We lost way too many second balls against Everton, in my opinion, especially always the really, really important ones. And we also need to shoot more from distance. We have players that are capable of doing that, and especially Mason Mount, Reece James, Kai Havertz, but they're just not doing it enough, if you ask me. They're just not doing it enough at all. And defensively, I mean, to be honest, I just think we should keep doing what we're doing for the most part. I mean, just stay concentrated and don't make mistakes, whether it's Modi or anybody else. Because if we did make a mistake, chances that Everton score against us are probably quite slim. Even when we're playing a tricky opponent, a good opponent like Wolves, if we stay concentrated at the back, I think we should be absolutely fine. And that, I guess, brings us on to talking about Wolves, or Wolverhampton Wanderers. They currently sit 13th in the table on 17 points from 12 games, with 5 wins, 2 draws and 5 defeats. But as you can see, on screen now with the table, they don't score a lot, like at all. Just 11 goals in 12 games so far. But to be fair, they have a decent defensive record with just 16 goals conceded. But so far this season, Wolves actually seem to have changed a bit compared to the last 2 years, when they usually got results in games you didn't expect them to, but then against, for example, the top 6, but then dropped all their points against teams in the bottom half of the table. Well, this season, that seems to be different, losing to Man City, Liverpool, Leicester, as well as informed teams like West Ham and I guess also Aston Villa last weekend, even if their form recently actually hasn't been that great. But then they, Wolves go and beat Fulham, Leeds, Palace, Sheffield United and Arsenal. All teams in poor form. Leeds is kind of on and off, and Palace is on and off as well. But Fulham, Sheffield and Arsenal in shocking form. And then they go beat them. So that's different. What has changed as well, though, especially in the past 4 games, is that they've gone away from the usual 3-4-3 system, switching to various different 4-back formations. 4-3-3, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. But actually their record since going away from the 4-3-3 hasn't exactly been an improvement. So it will be interesting to see whether they will actually go back to the 3-4-3 tomorrow or not. That will be very interesting. And of course, Raul Jimenez, their striker, their Mexican striker, picked up a really bad head injury recently, had to have surgery and everything. Really hope he gets well soon, by the way. But he is one of their best players, and he is, of course, out injured. But they have other dangerous players too. Pedro Neto, Daniel Podence, Adama Traore, and brilliant midfielders in Ruben Neves and João Moutinho as well. But João Moutinho is actually suspended after getting sent off with a second yellow card in the 95th minute against Aston Villa on the weekend. So, that is a positive for us, I guess. But all in all, as much as they are a good team, first of all, haven't had the best of seasons, and at least currently not beating, the best teams. Let's hope that stays that way tomorrow. it will still be a difficult game. It will be particularly difficult to break them down again. Like I said, a decent defensive record. And I believe that Chelsea will bounce back from the Everton defeat. I think we will. And I think we will get the 3 points on the road tomorrow night. But to be honest, guys, that has really been it from me. I can't really add much more. Like I said in the beginning already, just make sure you subscribe to Blues Fans TV. If you haven't just yet, that would be massively appreciated. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Drop a like on this video if you're excited for the game tomorrow. And of course, leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you think the game will go? How do you think Frank Lampard will line up? And of course, your score predictions. And like I said in the beginning already, be sure to subscribe to my personal channel, to which the link is down in the description below. Or if you click the I button up there for my Champions League draw live reaction earlier today, or like I said, the day after every single Chelsea game, an in-depth analysis of every game, including the Everton game yesterday. So yeah, do check that out. I'd massively appreciate that. And just lastly, let me shout out our sponsor super quickly. Get Football Manager 21 with the link down in the description and get 10% off using the code BluesFansTV. And if you fancy ordering any of the new Chelsea kits or any other football gear, make sure you use the other link down in the description below and use our promo code VAR65 for up to 65% off. But yeah, that's really been it from me, guys. Thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it. I'm excited for the game tomorrow. I'm excited for us to hopefully bounce back up the Chelsea. And I'll see you when I see you.